In the heart of a vast wilderness, where the trees whispered secrets and rivers danced over stones, there lived a ranger named Eli. His days were spent patrolling the rugged trails, ensuring the safety of the land and its creatures. Eli wore a badge that once gleamed proudly on his chest, but time had tarnished it, just as life had worn him down. Each scratch on the badge told a story of battles fought, not just against nature's challenges, but against doubt and fear within himself. Eli had seen both beauty and tragedy in his years as a ranger. He rescued lost hikers, tended to injured animals, and stood watch over the changing seasons. Yet, with each passing year, he felt the weight of his badge grow heavier. It was no longer a symbol of honor, but a reminder of struggles he wished to forget. In the quiet moments beneath the stars, he often pondered whether he was still the hero he once aspired to be. But Eli's spirit remained untamed like the wild he loved. He found solace in the rustling leaves and the calls of distant birds. The forest was both his home and his refuge, and even as storms brewed on the horizon, he stood steadfast, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Little did he know that change was about to come, a change that would shift his path forever, igniting a spark deep within him that had long been dormant. One afternoon, as Eli walked along a familiar trail, he noticed a sudden shift in the air. The gentle breeze that usually caressed his face turned sharp and chilly, carrying with it the scent of rain and electricity. He looked up to see dark clouds rolling in from the distance, their ominous shapes twisting and churning like wild beasts. The sky transformed into a canvas of gray, and Eli's heart raced as he sensed the brewing storm. This was no ordinary weather. It was as if nature itself was calling him to action. The trees swayed violently, their leaves rustling with urgency as if whispering warnings to one another. Eli felt an instinctive pull. He had faced many challenges in his life, but something about this moment felt different. It echoed deeply within him, reminding him of his purpose as a ranger. With each crack of thunder rumbling through the mountains, Eli's resolve strengthened. He knew the wilderness demanded respect but also offered opportunity. Determined and focused, he quickened his pace, feeling invigorated by the impending storm. He envisioned those who might be caught in its fury, hikers lost on the trails or animals seeking shelter. Embracing his role as protector, Eli felt a spark ignite within him. The tarnished badge around his neck seemed to hum with energy at this moment of decision. With the storm fast approaching, he prepared to meet whatever challenges lay ahead with unwavering courage and resolve, ready to embrace the call to action that nature had presented him. As Eli continued along the trail, the wind howled more fiercely, and the looming storm seemed to echo his inner turmoil. Suddenly, out of the swirling shadows, a figure emerged. An old man, with a weathered face and eyes that sparkled like stars, stood before him. He wore a cloak made of feathers, and Eli could feel an aura of wisdom surrounding him. "Ranger Eli," the old man spoke, his voice deep yet gentle. "I have watched you navigate the wilds with a heavy heart. It is time for a change." He extended his hand, revealing a magnificent eagle feather. Its rich colors shimmered in the dim light, each strand pulsing with life and energy. Eli gazed at the feather in awe, sensing its significance. "What does it mean?" he asked, curiosity mixing with reverence. "This feather represents wisdom, courage, and new beginnings," the old man replied. "It is a gift from the spirit of the eagle, guiding you to embrace your true purpose. When the storm arrives, let this feather remind you of your strength." With those words, a rush of warmth spread through Eli. He took the feather, feeling an immediate connection to the wild and an awakening within himself. The weight of his tarnished badge began to lighten as he grasped the new symbol of hope before him. In that moment, Eli knew that he was more than just a ranger. He was destined to protect the wilderness with renewed courage as the storm approached. Standing at the edge of the trail, Eli held the eagle feather in one hand and his tarnished badge in the other. The feather felt alive, its vibrant colors contrasting starkly with the dull metal of his badge. As he stared at each symbol, a wave of reflection washed over him. The badge had been a source of pride, but it now represented the burdens he carried. the failures, doubts, and fears that haunted him as he walked through the wild. Eli took a deep breath, feeling the wind whip around him as if urging him to make a decision. He thought about his years as a ranger, the countless times he had battled storms, rescued lost souls, and stood as a keeper of nature's balance. Yet, with every challenge faced, a shadow of uncertainty lingered. Was he still the protector he once aspired to be? The eagle feather pulsed with energy in his grasp, reminding him of the strength and wisdom that resided within him. It was no longer just an object. It was a call to transform. Eli realized that to truly embrace his role as a protector, he needed to let go of his past doubts and welcome this new beginning. The choice lay before him, to remain shackled by the weight of his tarnished badge or to soar with the spirit of the eagle. With newfound clarity, he understood that embracing courage meant stepping into his true purpose. As the storm drew closer, Eli could feel a shift in the wind that sent shivers down his spine. The once light breeze transformed into a powerful gust, swirling around him like a living force. With every breath, it carried whispers of change, urging him to step into the role he was meant to embrace. Thunder rumbled in the distance, and each crack echoed like a call to arms, igniting a fire within him. Eli closed his eyes for a moment, letting the wind wash over him. In that fleeting instant, he imagined himself as a leader, not just as a ranger burdened by his past, but as a marshal ready to guide others through darkness. He felt an overwhelming sense of responsibility surge through him, connecting him deeply to the land he cherished. The eagle feather nestled in his hand was alive with energy, reinforcing the strength he had always possessed but never fully acknowledged. With renewed determination, Eli opened his eyes. The storm was no longer something to fear. It was an opportunity to rise above his doubts and lead those who would look to him for guidance. As raindrops began to fall, he could see beyond the turmoil of the storm. He envisioned being a beacon of hope for lost hikers and wandering animals alike. Eli took a firm stand on the trail, feeling at one with nature and fortified by his new identity. As the winds howled around him, he embraced the storm's challenge and prepared himself to protect and serve with unwavering courage. With the storm now looming ominously above him, Eli gathered his resolve, feeling the weight of the eagle feather in his grip. Each gust of wind seemed to whisper encouragement, reminding him that he was no longer bound by the tarnished badge of his past. Instead, he was evolving into something greater, an embodiment of courage and leadership. Eli surveyed the wild landscape around him, recognizing the familiar trails where so many journeys had intersected with his own. As the first drops of rain began to fall, he envisioned those who might need his help. Lost hikers caught in confusion and animals left vulnerable by the approaching tempest. The responsibility felt heavy yet invigorating, and he understood that being a marshal meant more than just guarding nature. It was about being a guiding light in times of turmoil. He took a deep breath, inhaling the scent of damp earth mixed with fresh rain. In that moment, he cast aside the memories that weighed him down, the doubts and fears that had held him captive for too long. Eli envisioned himself standing tall against the storm, channeling its energy into protective strength. As thunder rumbled through the sky like a battle cry, Eli felt empowered. He tightened his grip on the feather and squared his shoulders. Ready to confront whatever challenges lay ahead, he stepped forward with decisiveness, embracing not only the storm but also his new role as protector and leader of the wilderness. This was his moment, a chance to rise above and truly fulfill his destiny. As Eli stepped into the heart of the storm, nature unleashed its fury. The wind howled like a pack of wolves, whipping through the trees and sending branches crashing to the ground. Rain poured in torrents, drenching him in an instant and making the familiar trail slippery beneath his feet. Yet, despite the chaos around him, Eli felt an unshakable determination surge within. With each step, he clutched the eagle feather tightly, its wisdom guiding him as he navigated the swirling tempest. He could hardly see through the sheets of rain, but he trusted his instincts and the connection he had to the land. Every crack of thunder seemed to echo his heartbeat, urging him forward. Eli spotted a flash of movement ahead, a group of hikers struggling against the fierce winds, their faces etched with fear. Without hesitation, he pressed on, calling out to them above the roar of the storm. "Follow my voice. Stay close." His voice rang with confidence, cutting through the chaos as he led them away from danger. The ground shook underfoot as lightning split the sky, illuminating his path for a brief moment. Eli rallied his courage, reminding himself that this was what it meant to be a marshal, to lead others through darkness to safety. As he guided the frightened group toward a sheltered grove, he felt empowered by his role. With bravery igniting every fiber of his being, Eli faced the storm head-on, embodying the strength of the eagle and stepping fully into his purpose as protector of the wilderness. As Eli guided the hikers through the storm's chaos, he felt a profound transformation within himself. The winds howled fiercely, but with each step, he grew more confident and resolute. No longer was he just a ranger burdened by his past. He had become a beacon of hope for others. The responsibility of protecting those in need ignited a fierce fire in his heart. With every crack of thunder, Eli shouted reassuring words to the terrified group, reminding them to stay close and keep their spirits high. "We're almost there," he called out, his voice echoing above the tumult. The fear in their eyes began to wane as they looked to him for guidance. He realized that his presence alone provided them with courage. Navigating through sheets of rain and tearing winds, Eli relied on his instincts honed over years spent in the wilderness. He instinctively chose paths that offered shelter, twisting around fallen branches and avoiding the deepest puddles that could trip anyone up. He felt as if the spirit of the eagle flowed through him, enhancing his connection to nature and sharpening his senses. As they approached a rocky outcrop that provided some respite from the storm, Eli felt the weight of responsibility settle upon him like a heavy cloak. This was not merely about surviving the storm. It was about protecting lives and ensuring everyone emerged safe on the other side. In that moment, he truly understood what it meant to be a protector of the wild, a transformation fueled by bravery and an unwavering commitment to serve others amidst nature's fury. Once the storm passed, a heavy silence fell over the forest, broken only by the gentle patter of raindrops falling from saturated leaves. Eli emerged from the chaos, weary but alive, the eagle feather still clutched tightly in his hand. As he surveyed the aftermath, he was struck by the destruction left in the storm's wake. Downed trees, scattered debris, and overwhelmed trails. Yet amidst this devastation, a sense of purpose filled him. Eli quickly rallied the local community, who had gathered to assess the damage. Many were shaken, their faces reflecting fear and uncertainty about what lay ahead. Stepping forward as their leader, Eli spoke with conviction. "We will rebuild together," he assured them, his voice steady and strong. With each word, he felt his own strength renew. As they worked together to clear paths and gather fallen branches, Eli shared stories of resilience from nature itself. He encouraged them to find hope in every challenge they faced. Whenever someone stumbled or hesitated, he offered a helping hand and words of encouragement that sparked determination in their hearts. With every tree they lifted and every pile of debris they cleared, the community began to find its footing again. Eli saw their confidence grow as laughter mixed with hard work. The storm that once seemed like a force of destruction had transformed into an opportunity for unity and regeneration. As evening fell and they sat together around a small fire, Eli gazed at the flickering flames, realizing that through this experience, he had not only helped others find hope but also solidified his own place as a true protector of the wilderness, a leader forged in both storm and strength. As the sun began to rise over the now calm landscape, Eli stood at the edge of the forest, reflecting on the journey he had taken. The storm had been a catalyst for change, not just for the land but for himself as well. He felt a deep connection to the eagle feather still resting in his pocket, a tangible reminder of the wisdom and courage it represented. This small token had transformed from a simple gift into a powerful symbol of his growth. Eli had learned that true strength comes from embracing challenges and adapting to them. The once tarnished badge he wore had been replaced not only by the feather but by a renewed sense of identity and purpose. As he looked around at the community rebuilding together, laughter and determination filling the air, He understood that growth often arises from adversity. With each day that passed, Eli continued to cultivate this bond with his surroundings and with the people he served. He became more than just a ranger. He was a leader who inspired others to find their own strength in difficult times. The experience had reshaped him, teaching him to carry hope like a flame, illuminating the path for those who felt lost. In that moment of quiet reflection, Eli knew that his journey was far from over. As long as he held onto the lessons learned and the eagle feather close to his heart, he would continue to grow, adapt, and protect all that he cherished within the vast wilderness he called home.